In low-lying coastal regions, an increase of even a few centimeters in the background sea level can break the regional flooding thresholds and lead to coastal inundation, according to the study.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Sea levels are rising rapidly along the southern United States, according to a new study. A study published earlier this month finds sea level rise along the coast of the southeastern United States has accelerated rapidly since 2010, raising fears that tens of millions of Americans' homes and cities across the South will be at risk from flooding in the decades to come. This is from an article recently published by Yahoo News. According to Sanka Dengendorf, an assistant professor of river coastal science and engineering at Tulane University over in New Orleans, he told the Washington Post it's a window into the future. The paper and another published last month in the Journal of Climate find that sea levels along the Gulf Coast and the southern Atlantic coast have risen an average of 1 centimeter per year since 2010. That translates to nearly 5 inches over the last 12 years. And it's about double the rate of average global sea level rise during the same time period. I should probably repeat that. Here in the South, along our coast, the sea is rising at about double the rate of the rest of the world, the average rate in the world. So here again, the South is disproportionately bearing the brunt of our economic system and its damaging impacts. The Journal of Climate study found that the hurricanes that have recently hammered the Gulf Coast, including Michael in 2018 and Ian, which was blamed in the deaths of over 100 Floridians last year, had a more severe impact because of higher sea levels. It turns out that the water level associated with Hurricane Ian was the highest on record due to the combined effect of sea level rise and storm surge, said Professor Yin, a climate scientist at the University of Arizona and the author of the Journal of Climate Study. Data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the NOAA, showed the water level at Lake Pontchartrain, an estuary bordering New Orleans, is 8 inches higher than it was in 2006. Other cities threatened by rising oceans in the region include Houston, Miami, and Mobile, Alabama. The centimeter per year rate is far faster than experts had expected, and it's more in line with projections made for the end of the century. High tide flooding, when the tides bring water onto normally dry land on rain-free days, has more than doubled on the Gulf Coast and the Southeast Coast since the beginning of this century, according to NOAA. Recent years have seen records for high tide flooding obliterated. The city of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, went from 3 days of high tide flooding in 2000 to 22 days in 2020. A study by scientists with the University of Miami, NOAA, NASA, and other institutions, which has not yet undergone peer review, to be clear, found that the southeastern sea level rise accounted for 30 to 50% of flood days in 2015 through 2020. In low-lying coastal regions, an increase of even a few centimeters in the background sea level can break the regional flooding thresholds and lead to coastal inundation, according to the study.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.